Go for it.
Hi, girls. I'm so excited about so many things I want to share with you guys. All right. The first thing I want to do is I want to invite you. I know they do this on the Fullest Empire call, but I really think it's cool. And for today, since it's just the three of us right now, we can just talk, like take yourself off of mute and say it. But I would love to start with, there's more people on the call. I would love to start with some shout outs in the beginning. And I'm going to start. I want to shout out some of the girls. Some of you guys are not on the call yet, but I want to shout out Carrie Danielle. She's on the call first. So I want to shout you out first because you've already posted about the running thing. I think I love your post from today. It is so perfect. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I wanted to shout out Alina because I think she's like, what did I do? Because I believe Eric is signing up as a coach, I think.
Probably tomorrow. And I said to him, I'm like, are you going to do it like the regular, like a card that's going to just renew, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do my regular thing this time so I can get all the stuff that I need. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I said, definitely do it as the VIP then. So it's going to be tomorrow, which I'm excited about him.
Yeah. Well, it was so weird because you told me, I think either you told me about that or I saw the post this morning in the Rise Up group that he's starting up as a coach. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm getting goosebumps right now just saying it. Like I felt like the whole photo shoot, like kind of maybe even inspired it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like just because he was like in with the coaches and part of the whole community.
I think I loved being there Saturday. I think it was more than just doing a photo shoot. For me, it definitely pumped me up because, I miss those live events and they keep you engaged. So I definitely think I'm not stopping obviously in time, but like I was kind of like drifting, but I think like doing that is such like an amazing, I'm so glad we did it. Even, it just was awesome. And I'm so happy.
It was so great. And again, let me tell you, like, you're not alone in that. Like, I've had those moments too. I think all coaches go through that where they're like, it's a very roller coastery kind of a business. And I think that's why Beachbody does these things quarterly, is to kind of to keep that momentum flowing, They're very smart in what they do. So I want to shout you two girls out.
Imagine if you can get the picture back from, what was her name?
Kimberly.
Imagine if you can get the picture back from Kimberly of us all holding Eric up, and that's how you can like officially put out there that he's coaching. So cool.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's meant to be. So you two girls I wanted to shout out. There were a couple of other girls I wanted to shout out. Who was it though? I can't. All right, did you guys want to shout anybody out that maybe not on the call? Feel free to jump in. You don't have to if you don't want to. I don't remember, but
I'll shout out Julia and Shanna for driving because, when we do our live events, they do have people stand in the audience that how far they've come to get there, how many miles. So that was pretty cool. Like, cause Shanna and Julia probably both, drove a good amount of miles to get there, and they usually win a prize for like the person who drove the furthest to be there, which usually that's what they do at Super Saturday. So
I didn't know that. Oh, that would have been, oh my God, so much fun. Next time we'll do that.
Yeah. But I
like superlatives next time.
What did you say?
Like superlatives, like someone who drove the furthest, or like, it's Summit, they do like the most amount of weight loss in the room or stuff.
Yeah.
Just to make everyone feel special.
I remembered my other shout out. I want to shout out. It was Alina again, and it was Jen Fitz, because you're both in our Sprint to Sparkle group. So I'm really proud. I was so surprised when I saw Jen Fitz. I was like, oh my God, Jen's in here. So I was really excited about that. So I'm really proud of you girls.
I totally forgot about it. Is it still open? I'm such a slut there.
Don't worry about it.
All my stuff.
Is it still open or it's closed?
Closed. I think they made pods and everything.
They made the pods. But listen, what my plan is to share as much as I can, and maybe Alina and Jen, we could share as much as we can with Shine Sisterhood so that, you know what I'm saying? Like, even though you're not in it officially, you'll still get the benefit of like whatever we're doing, we'll share it with you guys. Whatever we think is
going to be helpful. Alina, I feel like you're so close.
I
pretty much there. Jaden just needs a coach. And I think I need one more on the other leg.
Yep.
But I think there's a couple people right now I'm talking to. I'm not stressing myself out with Success Club. So once I stop stressing myself out with Success Club, I'm able to really be like, oh, this is good for you. This is it, so Success Club will come in the future. Eventually I'll have a run of it again. Yeah. But right now I'm not stressing myself. But what I have to say about Sprint to Sparkle, I do love the posting schedule they have.
Okay.
So I can share that document if you'd like. I can share it in Sisterhood because it's like tomorrow's like your why Wednesday, and it kind of keeps you like, all right, that's something I could post about my why, and then Thursday is what coaching means to you and inviting to coaching. So I like that. I kind of like having a little schedule calendar.
Yep. I agree. I like it. So what was I going to say to you? So what I want to do a couple of housekeeping things. One of them, I don't know if you guys caught it. There was very few people in the watch party on Flawless Empire, but the National Wake Up Call was really, 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 really good. It was a new coach, and I love when they have newer coaches on because I just feel like they're so fresh and they have new ways of looking at things. And I feel like what I love about when they have new coaches on is I feel like it's not complicated. They keep it so simple because they're new and it's fresh. So, what she talked about, which I think we've all talked about, and Elena, you're actually really good with this already, but our coaches might need this, is she talked a lot about morning routine. So I was kind of distracted on the National Wake Up Call, so I didn't really take that good of notes, and I didn't really, dive into it like I normally do. I was kind of distracted, but I definitely want to go back and re-listen to it. But it got me already thinking, and this is kind of down the line, but I'm thinking about, we know we're going to be doing the running group coming up for the next 3 weeks. It's actually going to start on Monday, but I was looking at the guide that we have from the Boss Babes Mastermind group, and it actually will start this Saturday. So we'll have some prep posts, like the welcome post and all that. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit more about that in a second. But what it got me thinking of is, when I listen to the National Wake Up Call, my morning routine is still really, really wonky. It's really, really bad. I need to hone it in and get a handle on it. Elena, like I said, I know you got it down pretty good. But I feel like because of this whole thing with, quarantine and the way school is for me in my situation right now, and a lot of the people that I'm friends with and stuff on Instagram, the schedule is just so crazy. And the kids are in school, they're not in school, everything's all over the place. And I feel like I really need to, no matter what, whether it's a quarantine day or whether it's the kids go to school day, I need to be consistent with my morning routine and doing the things that I need to do. So my idea is maybe we might want to consider, not for October, but for November, doing that free morning group again. Just an idea that I had. I felt like maybe people need to get a handle on it again, and November might be a good time. So just thinking down the line for that. Okay, so I was looking at, Lane, I don't know if you know this, but in the Boss Babes Mastermind, there is Julia is on. Girls, were your ears ringing, girl? Because we were shouting you out. We were shouting you out. It's on. It's recorded, so you're gonna have to. All right. In the Boss Babes Mastermind, there is a free running group guide that Carrie Danielle found. I left a message with Katie either yesterday or the day before, I don't remember, about we really got it because it's coming up fast. This Saturday really is the beginning of it. And as of now, we don't really have any Instagram story invites. So we kind of somebody's got to make them. If anybody wants to volunteer themselves, feel free. Or I will try to do that. We also need, that's what made me want to shout out Carrie Danielle, because we don't necessarily need, it would be nice to have an Instagram story invite, but I love what Katie did this morning or this afternoon. She did a post about running on Instagram and on Facebook. And it's just kind of like what are you, a walker? Are you a jogger? Are you a runner? And it's great about that
I get
is
no credit. I stole it from Marin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so did I. I did the same thing.
I was like, I'm not that creative, but I stole it from Marin.
No, well, but for both of you, then I haven't done that post yet. But for both of you, what you could simply do, it's so easy, is just go back to that post, and anybody who liked it and anybody who commented it, you could just message them and go, oh my gosh, whatever your situation is, very brief, one sentence, and then say, I've got this free group coming up that's going to try to get me in the groove of running or jogging or walking or whatever. If you want, it's called whatever. What are we calling it? Go the extra mile. Called Go the Extra Mile. You're welcome to join, and then you can plug them right into our free group that we're going to have. It's the same free group that we've been using, that we've been rolling over, and we're just going to have it as it's just going to be 3 weeks instead of 1 week. So what I have to do, and I started it today, but I didn't finish it. Like I said earlier, I left a message with Katie the other day, is I have to go through the guide that we have from Boss Babes, and I have to pick out what I want to use, because their guide is either 5 weeks. I think it's a 5-week guide. It's like a full 30 days plus like a prep week or something like that. It's a long guide, and we only need 3 weeks. So I'm going to go through, because a lot of the posts are like workout posts. So I think the easiest way to do it is going to really be for me to just create another document and just copy and paste everything. I'm just hoping it's as easy as I think it will be. Do you think it'll be easy, Katie? I don't know. What do you think?
I honestly haven't really dove into it. If you want, I could go through it and just cut it down to 21 days.
Yeah. What they have in the guide, which I don't think is necessary for us to have, is they have like, what is it? They have, the sample workouts. Like the sample workouts, we already have those in the group. So I'm wondering if we just take all that part of that out, because even like I was looking at it this morning, and they have 2 kind of welcome posts for Saturday. One of them is like, welcome, introduce yourself kind of a thing like we usually have. And then the other one is, this is how the group is going to run. Somebody has to go live, which I can do. No worries. If you guys don't want to do it, I'm happy to do it. But somebody goes live and just is like, hey, welcome to the group. This is how it's going to run, yada, yada, yada. But according to their like verbiage of the post, part of what they talk about is, we're going to have 1 week of sample workouts. We're not going to have that. So I really think it'll be easy to just take that piece of it out and then just don't even talk about that. And it'll probably be about 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it'll all work out. I don't want to make this complicated. I want to make it nice and easy. So I think you're probably looking at it now, which is good. So while she's looking at that, I wanted to go over 2 more things with you guys. One of them is there's been a little bit, now that we're talking about this group coming up, we're going to have a shared leadership post for this free running group for you guys to, share the leadership of it, just like how we had the other ones. But what we've been noticing that there's been some overlap and some confusion when it comes to the shared leadership of like the Rise Up project. You know how we have like, okay, who wants to take the poll post this week? Who wants to take the challenge guide post this week? We've had some people, when the document doesn't get edited for the leadership, some people have been doubling up. So it happened this week with the poll posts. Both Jen Fitz and Gina had done it. And it happened with something else also. I forget what it was. But I think some ways that we're going to try to cut down on that confusion for everybody is I'm going to actually, when we do the leadership, we're going to include the time of day. So like everybody knows, okay, the poll posts need to be up by 5 a.m. this time. The other thing that we want to do is we want it really for you guys to know that that document has to be edited, and we have to know that you're signing up for that so that we don't double up, because then it just makes it too confusing. And so I thought about this. The thing that's so stinky about when you have to edit that document, when you're doing that shared leadership thing and signing up, is that you can't do it from your phone. That's the thing that stinks. You can only do it from your computer. And there's many times, especially because I'm having major computer issues, where I'm not in the situation where I can get to a computer. I can't. If that happens, what I recommend that you do is in the comments, you have to say, can somebody please edit the document and maybe even tag a couple people in it? And then they have to reply to that, yes, I edited it. Because otherwise it's going to get too, I just don't want there to be confusion in the group. So that was one thing I wanted to go over with you guys. The last thing I want to go over with you guys is I totally dropped the ball on the coach mentorship for September. It's pretty much non-existent. It did not happen. And now we have Eric is coming in as a coach. Christine Reardon never did new coach mentorship. Kathy Flynn hasn't done new coach mentorship. There's coaches who've gone into new coach mentorship and have never done it. They've never gone through the trainings. They've never watched the videos. They've never done any of the stuff. So I want to open it up for October. And this Thursday night, okay, Lori is having her sneak peek. This is a great chance to invite anybody in Rise Up Project, any discount coaches. You know what I'm thinking too? People like Candace, who, you don't know, like she might really want to start coaching. And if Shanna is in there with her, and you know what I'm saying? I think that it could be really awesome. So I would love to get that started beginning of October. And if I'm looking at the calendar, I'm thinking the first week, I think it's the 4th or something like that. October 1st is a Thursday. So it would be October 5th would be the beginning of new coach mentorship. And what I would love to do is open it up, not just to new coaches, but to anybody in the Shine Sisterhood downline who's maybe even been in a new coach mentorship, but never did. And I'm thinking of people like Christy or Crystal. They were in there, but they never went through the videos. I think it was August, I had Karen Lewis, who was in our group, who's kind of fallen off. She might want to get back on, and she might want to, and her and Eric, they already get along so well in the Rise Up Project. How cool would it be if then they were in the new coach mentorship and they were like helping each other? I think Elena, you might want to say something there.
I have a woman who her good friend referred her to me. She's already a Beachbody VIP member under somebody else. But I allowed her to kind of come into our accountability group, kind of like how Madison is part of the Flawless Empire, so we're all the same team. I don't even think she's on the same team as us, but I was like, listen, the woman that referred her to me is like changed my life a few years ago. So I was like, listen, just be accountable with us. She's the most amazing woman, and she's already like a life coach, certified life coach. So she should be an amazing coach. And she's like her and I have gotten so close just in the last few weeks. So I'm hoping eventually, maybe in the future, but
you know what? Yeah, go ahead. No, well, I was thinking, I wonder if that could be a great success partner for you. And like, if she's your success partner and you guys run new coach mentorships together at some point down the line, you know what I'm saying? I was like, wow, that could be kind of cool if you were kind of hinting at maybe her joining our new coach mentorship. I wouldn't have a problem with that. Might be a great energy to have in the group.
Yes. She said she signed up with her coach and it was not anything she expected. She said, I thought that it was going to be like people accountable and like a team of people. And it was like just her and her friend in bod groups, not doing anything. And I was like, come into our message, like come into my group. Don't worry about it. I don't care, And the thing is, like, her and Eric talk all the time back and forth because they're always on there. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I love that Eric is like a buddy now that he talks to, like, so I was like, she's awesome. And I'm really, I want to say she's about 50. So she, and she's like, so like ready to like eager and like just.
That's great. So, if she wanted to do the new coach mentorship and Eric wanted to do it, and I was thinking of that for October, we might, if we could find, there's a couple of great male coaches, Beachbody male coaches. One is a cop. He's awesome. There's a Canadian guy, Fitzpatrick. He's amazing. There's that Miguel guy. He's great. There's all these great Beachbody coaches that are male. If we can like get some male videos to go into our training, and we could actually have maybe even a couple of links, you know, or even just change it up. Just like if Eric is going to be in October, we could maybe even just change up some of the videos to include some maleness for him, you know? So anyway, I was thinking about that today. I don't know how much, and I was also thinking, like, Carrie Danielle, you know, like Pam, I would love to get her. I know we tried it in like August with Karen, but none of those people did anything. And I just feel like if we had good energies going into that new coach, because that's, guys, that's really where you're going to see our businesses soar, is when we start really building that business side of it, where we're building the coaching side of it. It's like things just happen faster, and just, I don't know how to explain it, like that momentum. I noticed it with that when we did it, I think it was May, was like our first time doing that mentorship. I feel like I'm still feeling the effects of that. Like that was a good, with Shanna and Jen, like it was a good group, you know, and I just feel like it's carried over. And I feel like if we could recreate that again in October, I would love to do that now, especially with Eric coming in. I know I'm putting a lot of pressure with Eric, but I love him. I just think he's so awesome. Okay, so that's pretty much, I wanted to share something that I read with you guys recently. It was so good, but I don't know how much time I have left. How much time is left? And I want to kind of see what Carrie Danielle discovered. I could tell she's working. She's working. She's doing it. KD doing it. All right. You're good. How much time is left? Do you see any? I don't see. It doesn't say for me.
It doesn't. Excuse me. It doesn't say for me, but.
Okay, good.
It's 7:30, so we normally have till 8:10. 8:15.
Okay. Cool.
So you have another 15.
Okay, cool. So I want to read this to you guys. I read this the other day. I'm reading right now The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. It's by Darren Hardy. And this was so good. I was like, oh my God, I just want to read it. So it's a little bit, not too long, but it's a little bit. So let me read this to you. Almost every great achievement began with someone finally getting ticked off, saying enough, and standing up to fight. Think of Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, John F. Kennedy. Even the quest to walk on the moon was motivated by the fight against the Russians. Everyone needs a worthy adversary. Think about it. David had Goliath, Luke had Darth, Apple has IBM, and then Microsoft. Rocky has Apollo Creed, and Mr. T had that Russian guy. Well, you get the idea. A good enemy gives you a reason to get fired up. A nemesis pushes you to reach deep and use your skills, talents, and abilities to their fullest. Having to fight challenges your character and resolve. A fight will lead you to push harder, go farther, and hang on longer than you ever would otherwise. It sounds like a lot like love, doesn't it? The reality is love and hate are the same thing, just looking in different directions. If you love something, you equally hate what threatens it. I'm getting goosebumps, girls. If you love health and well-being, then you probably hate cancer and heart disease. If you love whales, then you probably hate global chemical pollution and human-activated climate change. If you love people and equal rights, then you probably hate gender discrimination, minority injustice, and poverty. Being successful in business requires an emotional charge. Love is great, but if that charge comes from your desire to fight a wrong, fight the good fight, or seek justice, then it's just as good as love, and often even better. I'll admit it, I love to fight. Fighting is an exhilarating, passion-inducing, crusade championing force. I love inspiring people's greater inner potential and their vision for what's possible for their lives, which is why I hate negative and perversely sensational news media and their destruction of our positive spirit and creative potential. If you read the Compound Effect, you can feel my anger against the overzealous, commercial media that takes us for fools and bamboozles us into believing in the quick fix, immediate gratification, and overnight success you'll get from the swipe of your credit card and 3 easy payments. I hate the apathy, mediocrity, entitlement, and victimhood mentalities that have permeated our society. One of the best days of your life can be the day when you find your fight. When you say to yourself, I've had it, enough is enough, and you stand up and push back. So I challenge you with this thought. What are you willing to fight for? What do you see as an enemy to your industry, your family, your community, or your world? Is it injustice, cancer, poverty, homelessness, child abduction, world hunger, or needlessly expensive car insurance? The hate of something negative can be a powerful force for good. But if thinking about fighting or hate feels uncomfortable, then start here. Think about what you love. What positive outcome do you want to see realized as a result of your product, service, or business? Got that image in your mind? Now, what's the opposite of that? What threatens that? What is the enemy of that? Who or what could stop you from achieving that outcome? That's your enemy. There's your epic battle. I promise you that when you come up with your answer, you'll notice your nervous system kick in and your blood begin to pump. That, my friend, is how you hack your brain and turn on 100% pure, unadulterated, high octane, heart pounding, motivational mojo. Just like Rocky put a picture of Apollo on his training room mirror, find your enemy and let your image stir your blood. So I read that, girls, and I was like fired up, like unbelievable. And I just feel like so much of that is exactly what we do. Like, and I feel like so much of like when we come on to this Beachbody thing, we realize how much we love self-care and taking care of others and being kind to one another, and we'll do anything possible to fight the good fight. And anyway, I just wanted to share that with you girls. And the last thing I wanted to say is I wanted to take that, and I'm thinking ahead with doing, I would love to, we're going to talk about this more down the line. This is maybe like December-ish. We'll start talking about this. But I never, ever made a vision board for 2020. And Elena is amazing at that. And I just felt like when I read this, it got me to think, like, I don't know, it just reminded me that I never did that. Like I want to have that vision of that fight and what I'm fighting for and what I want. And I was thinking, how cool would it be if Elena, I feel like that could be something so amazingly valuable that you could bring to our team. Like if you could like somehow, and like, I don't want to make this complicated and involved. I want to keep it simple and all that. Because I know we're both the same way like that. We get kind of like caught up. Yeah. But if there would be a way for you to like create some sort of a very simple thing where you give us a focus and then have us do a task and help me in coming up with a vision board, because I don't know, every time I would go to do it, I got stuck. Like I knew like, all right, well, I want to get a house on Fire Island. And then what I would do is I would go to Google and I would look for houses on Fire Island, and none of them would be like, I'd be like, yeah, no, I don't want it. And then my ADD would set in and I would go to something else, and I never printed out a picture. And so my board is empty. Like, I don't know. I think perfectionism is my problem. Like I'm trying to create this perfect vision board. And
so I started to, like, when we were talking about, we have 7 minutes left, by the way.
Okay.
When we were talking about morning routine, I'm reading Untamed right now by Glenda, what's her name? Untamed.
Doyle. Doyle.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys read that, but she talks about being in the know and just sitting in like, kind of like sitting in darkness, find a spot like your closet or a place where there's nothing around, and just like kind of put your head down and just like quietly meditate. It doesn't have to be like for a purpose or anything crazy, but just like if you have like something that you want to, how you want your life to be, how you want to feel. Like if you're stressed with the virtual learning, or if you're stressed, like I was very stressed with my son and what was going on with him. And I just sat there and I was like, what are the facts? I'm worrying in my head about so many things. And this is leading to the vision board. So the facts are this: everyone's safe. Everyone's okay. Like, we're doing what we can. There's nothing I control at this moment. So let me just like really enjoy like what is around me. So I picture a positive like white light as I breathe in, and like black smoke as I breathe out. Like black, like almost like exhaust fumes. Like, and when I breathe in, I picture exactly what I want all of the people in my life that I love to like look like together. So like my husband and my son get along really well, and the kids are happy, and we're doing all this stuff. And so when I envision that, these images come to my head, and that's when I realize like I can do my vision board, because it's like, okay, yeah, there's material things that I want.
Yeah.
As I go through my house, I'm like, oh God, I need a cabinet, I need a headboard. And I'll put those stupid things on my vision board because they're very short, easy, short-term little visions. But then I'm like, my biggest vision is like the Christmas tree with all of us around it at this time. And so like, there's where I get a lot of my visions from. So like the big stuff.
Got you. And then, yeah.
I learned from this woman, that Stacy, the one I said that's not a child, a person, whatever. She told me, because I spoke with her and I was like, I feel like this and I feel like that and I feel like this, and I have like my husband, my son. She's like, okay, stop. What do you want? You have to separate the three. You have to separate you, your son, and your husband. Like, you have to separate those three relationships right now. So she told me to like really like, so I wrote down like what I want for me. Yeah. Whether my husband wants to do it or not. Like, as far as like how I am as a human, I like adventure. I like fun stuff. I like roller coasters. I like scary things. I'm very, what kind of relationship I want with my son, and what kind of relationship I have with my husband, like three separate things. So that's also part of my vision board. And it's usually just very much visualizing exactly like your children are extremely like successful, and they have good partnerships with other people, and your husband is healthy, and do you know what I'm saying? And you're able to provide financially for people, like just that's what I breathe in, and then the black smoke goes out. So those images you'll start to manifest, and you'll and then whether you can even draw them if you're a good.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's what I was going to ask you, is so you don't have a specific image. You just have an image in your mind. It's not for those.
So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll print out a picture. It might be mundane, like something I'm not like really want, but next to the picture I write, we live in this house on Fire Island and share so many memories. So that house is just a symbol of what your real thoughts are about it.
The relation, like the connections and all that.
Exactly. So, and what it actually feels like to have that house on Fire Island.
Yes. Oh my God, I want to do that.
What does it actually feel like? So when you breathe in that image, it's like everybody's hanging out. They're sleeping in late.
Down to the beach whenever we want.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to have those visions above any other like actual vision that's online. You want to make sure.
That's true.
And then you want to write down next to it exactly how you feel when you're there.
Okay.
Get out of it. And so, like I said, the actual image is just a symbol. Like I printed out a picture of a boat, but like it's not going to be the exact boat that I get.
I want a boat. I got it. Okay.
So that's.
Get away from the like it has to be exactly, and then I just need to put something.
You can always write down next to it exactly what you want it to be.
Okay, I'm gonna start, and then I would love to do it as a team. And maybe you could help lead that, you know, Elena, especially since you're so good at this stuff.
Yeah.
But let's maybe towards the end of the year, like as we're getting ready for 2021. It was just something I thought of. I was like, oh, I bet you Elena would be so good at that. But before we end, would you girls mind taking either a picture or a boomerang? Because I'm only on my phone, so I can't. I mean, I guess you're so good. I appreciate it. And Carrie Danielle, thank you for your hard work, girl, because I know you've been working hard over there. I know, I could see on the other side. I could see. I'm a mom now. I got eyes in the back of my head. I got eyes behind your head.
I'm taking a video, so you know.
I have both laptops going like a crazy person. I'm on my work laptop doing that. I do all my Beachbody stuff on my work laptop, and I'm on my laptop here. And all the electronics going.
All right,
Girls, great.
Effie call.
Effie, I'll be there. And
So going over the dates before I put this stuff in there, we're starting, it's going to cut off. The free groups, you want to start on this Monday, the 21st, be the actual start date for it.
I think so.
And you want it to run 21 days. That'll last until October 11th.
Is that good? I think that's good. Yeah, because the thing comes out on the 12th. That's what I was kind of thinking it would end there, because I think the running program.
The test group starts on the 19th. So I just want to make sure I'm putting in the right dates to it.
Yeah, but then they would have to get it, right? So that gives them like a week.
1 week ahead of that. Okay. So 21 days.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? Does that sound good?
Okay. I just want to make sure I'm putting the right dates in here.
So now, are you making a new one? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Oh, you're amazing. Oh my God.
There's no daily visuals. I need to make this. What? I love doing this stuff. I'm a nerd.
No. All right. I love your post. It's so good.